Coming up on City Beat, you'll be seeing red hearts like this hanging in our city parks. They are not just a decoration. Hear the incredible story behind these city park additions. Plus, a new facility is about to open up that will provide help for our homeless veterans. Find out what makes this facility in downtown Las Vegas different from many others. And these firefighters often spend time at this water park, but it's not just fun in the sun. They're training to keep people safe during the monsoon season. Hi, everybody, and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne, and we are coming to you from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue's Station 1, one of the busiest in the nation, which is why we're in their conference room instead of downstairs in the bay where they keep their fire engines and ambulances, or we might not ever get through this show. We want to tell you about a program right now that Las Vegas Fire and Rescue has been instrumental in getting started. When you think about someone having a heart attack, you might think about someone elderly or someone in poor health. Well, we're going to shatter those myths. Every year in the United States, there are more than 1,000 deaths among young athletes in competitive sports. Now, the best doctor in the world can't save every patient, but the sooner they get treatment, the better their chances are of survival. That's the idea behind this new program in our city parks. Here's more on the program and the incredible story behind it. It's not unusual to see Las Vegas city parks filled with kids of all ages participating in organized sports. But something out of the ordinary and very frightening did happen in the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex several years ago to a healthy teenager named Adam Afromsky.
So I was 14 years old. It was a normal day. I was playing soccer. And then during the soccer game, 5 minutes into it, I had a sudden cardiac arrest and I collapsed. White light had faded into my eyes, and I just knew at that moment something was wrong and something was going to happen, and something did.
Adam had luck on his side. Medical personnel just happened to be at the park that day.
It just happened to be that a off-duty ER doctor who was not supposed to be there in the vicinity of the area was there at the time, and also an RN. Well, one of my best friends, his mom, was watching the game, and she basically started CPR and compressions on my chest until the ambulance got there and shocked me with an AED.
Fortunately, Adam is here to tell his story today. In fact, he and his family want to tell everyone his story. So they formed the Adam's Heart Foundation, spreading the word that heart attacks can strike anyone, anywhere. So on July 6th, the foundation, along with the City of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, and American Medical Response, announced they want to make sure if another resident collapses in one of our parks, their survival is not left up to the good fortune of having medical help nearby.
It's wonderful to have everyone here today, and this is a very, very special day for us.
Here at Betty Wilson Soccer Complex, the first of many automated external defibrillators, or AEDs, was unveiled. Dr. David Slattery explained 22 city parks will soon be equipped with AEDs.
So when we think about cardiac arrest, sudden cardiac arrest, we usually think about older people and older people disease. But what we know is that it's the leading cause of death in youth athletes. In fact, 75% of deaths during competitive sports occur in young athletes because of sudden cardiac arrest. For every minute that goes by after someone suffers some cardiac arrest, before we do CPR or get a defibrillator on them to shock them out of that rhythm, their survival drops by 7 to 10%.
The unveiling was followed by a demonstration of just how quickly treatment can begin with an AED so close at hand.
You okay? You okay? Someone call 911, get the AED.
As you can see, being trained is optimal, but the device does prompt you if you're not.
Apply pads to patient's bare chest.
This demonstration took just over 1 minute. It could take an ambulance 2 to 4 minutes to arrive, and that could be the difference between life and death. Adam had medical professionals nearby, but Dr. Slattery says with this nearby, anyone can be a hero.
If there isn't anyone medically trained there, everyone can do this, is recognize that someone's on the ground and call 911. And our heroes up in the call center, the Combined Communication Center, 911 Center, will talk them through every step of the way and teach them how to do CPR over the phone.
I think it's one of the most important things that you can do is help the community out and basically give people a fighting chance to survive when something happens.
Adams Heart Foundation would like to see AEDs in every park across the country. By the way, Dr. Slattery said this program would not have been possible without Adams Heart, without American Medical Response, and without just about every department in the city of Las Vegas. Well, turning our attention now to the health of our veterans. You've probably heard of Veterans Village. It's an incredible program that gets veterans off the streets and helps them get back on their feet again. Well, they are opening a new facility. This will not only provide housing for veterans, but the proper medical care they need to live out their lives comfortably. Just take a look at this facility in downtown Las Vegas. You might think you're looking at a new hotel or an upper-end residential facility. Gardens, a spacious dining area, a room for parties with a baby grand piano. Then if you head upstairs, you'll see wide, beautiful hallways decorated with art and comfortable large rooms. It's not a pricey hotel. It's going to be an assisted living center for our veterans. Veterans Village number 3.
This will be an 88-bed residence, and it'll be a home for people that can't take care of themselves anymore.
Arnold Stock opened his first Veterans Village in downtown Las Vegas about 5 years ago with the goal of never turning away a veteran on the streets or in need.
Veterans Village is a multi-service nonprofit organization for our United States veterans, and we take veterans from the street, literally from the street. If that's necessary for emergency housing, we do transitional housing, scattered site rental housing, and now assisted living and specialized care.
This latest project will take in a segment of the veteran population that not only needs a home, but specialized care in that home.
Physician assistants, nursing, anything that's in their prescribed stay here.
Councilman Ricky Barlow stopped in to take a tour of this unique facility. According to Stock, it was built to be an assisted living center, but Veterans Village ended up taking it over thanks to Stock and a lot of public and private community partners. A lucky coincidence to many, a blessing to Stock's mission.
So you bought a ready-made facility that you can basically put into
reuse, right? And our escrow is set to close on September 1st, God willing, and then we hope to open it by the end of the year or the first of next year.
Good.
On the tour, Councilman Barlow was able to take in just what a great opportunity this is to further serve our veterans.
And this is perfect for us because it'll be a full medical clinic.
Right.
It's all up to state code. It's all up to SNHD standards.
The 44 rooms are equipped with 2 beds and a bathroom that is wheelchair accessible. Following the tour, Councilman Barlow said this fits a very big need in our community.
This is a beautiful facility right here on 14th Street in downtown Las Vegas. It's a wonderful, wonderful find. A number of partners came in to collaborate with him on this 88-unit facility to house those veterans in our community that are in most critical need. I want to take my hat off to Mr. Arnold Stock and his entire staff for a wonderful job, basically identifying the critical needs for veterans in Southern Nevada.
There are still some finishing touches needed in the building and some paperwork to complete, but this is just one more accomplished by Stock and his Veterans Village staff and volunteers that will help him reach his goal of never having to use the words homeless and veterans in the same sentence ever again.
We see a lot of struggles, but we see a lot of successes. And a success to me, the ultimate success is helping a veteran get off the streets or get out of a couch surfing situation, overcrowding, living in a substandard housing condition in a garage, in a car or their truck, and offering them a life of dignity and respect.
Glad to be a part of
Thanks
it.
for always being there for us.
Thank you, man.
Arnold Stock says he hopes to have the facility open by the end of the year. Well, there's a lot going on downtown besides just the opening of that facility. If you take a look downtown Las Vegas, you'll notice a lot of change. In fact, many developers say the renaissance of downtown Las Vegas is unprecedented. The fine folks at our Department of Economic and Urban Development are constantly striving to get enough businesses and the right kind of businesses to sustain more residents. And as Jennifer Davies tells us, it looks like they're on the right track.
In the Fremont East area, redevelopment continues to bring in new experiences. The Two Bald Brothers Mediterranean Cuisine, 7th and Carson, and Smooth Eats have all recently opened their doors on Carson between 6th and 7th. While it's exciting to see new places open, some have had to close their doors to make way for the new.
Sometimes small businesses do go out of business, but the good thing is the ones that are going out, we are finding replacements, and some new ones are just opening up in spots that didn't have restaurants before.
The city hopes that new food and beverage offerings will help drive interest in the next stage of redevelopment downtown, more housing.
Either empty nester or the young professional, because you get them there and then they'll be interested in services as well as food and beverages.
So maybe the hustle and bustle is enough to pique your interest in calling downtown home.
As we continue to offer more residential offerings downtown, we're excited to see more and more new restaurants like 7th and Carson popping up around downtown. And don't forget, the city even offers programs to help you improve the exterior of your building or even the inside of it. If you're going to switch the concept from something that's previously been there, you can go to lasvegasnevada.gov/EUD for information on that. For City Beat, I'm Jennifer Davies.
Julie Quisenberry is a real estate specialist with EUD, and she says turnover in the properties in a city like Las Vegas is actually pretty common. As far as the success for a food or beverage establishment, she said it's not just location. Downtown Las Vegas is very desirable, but these establishments need to figure out what kind of customer do they want. Tourists, locals, both, and of course consistency in their offerings and their service also plays a big role. If you'd like more information on EUD, you can go to lasvegasnevada.gov/EUD. Well, we are in our monsoon season. When we come back, we'll show you how our firefighters train to make sure you stay safe, even if you get yourself into deep water. Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month Business Licensing Officer, Anthony Vogel. Anthony is one of the reasons our licensing process has been greatly streamlined and more customer-friendly. After joining the city in 2015, he took the initiative to look at the methods used by licensed officers. Anthony came up with a plan to do away with manual checklists and made use of technology to help simplify the licensing process. This not only benefits our employees, but our residents as well. He helped the department move from paper to iPads and iPhones and made sure the technology worked in city vehicles. The result is faster service for our business owners and those looking to open a business. Anthony is the first level of technical support for his team and any other city department or law enforcement agency who needs him. For his initiative and follow-through, we congratulate Anthony Vogel, our City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Welcome back to City Beat from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue's Station 1. Well, in case you missed it, we are in our monsoon season, and those of us who have lived here any length of time know when our skies open up, our streets can flood. As often as we tell people to stay out of flooded areas, well, they don't always heed the warning. It seems like every year rescue workers have to drag somebody out of a flooded street or wash. So they do a lot of training to make sure they stay safe to keep us safe. We caught up with them recently at Wet n Wild, not for a day of enjoyment, but a day of training. It happens in an instant. A rainstorm moves across our valley and the washes become raging rivers, and many of our streets and intersections are flooded with rushing water.
Rope, grab the rope!
That's why members of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue are spending this morning at Wet n Wild, preparing for our monsoon season. Because they know without fail they will need to come to the aid of motorists who get trapped in their cars, pedestrians who try to navigate on foot through rushing water, or people who get caught up in one of our washes.
We have a technical rescue team that are technicians in swift water, but the whole department as a whole has awareness on swift water because they're first responders as part of our training.
The water features at Wet n Wild enable them to get hands-on training. For example, they learned that actually getting in the water to rescue someone is a last resort. If the first responder isn't safe, they can't get the victim to safety. Rescuing by throwing a line is first choice when possible.
Every unit has what we call throw bags. It has 75 feet of a line in there with a little loop on the end of it. And when someone's coming down the river, you try to throw that to them so that they can grab it themselves, and then you ferry them into the edge.
But there are situations when a line won't work. The tornado here at Wet n Wild simulates what it would be like to walk someone out of rushing water in a flooded street, for example. It's called shallow water crossing, and it's done with several rescuers in a line.
The first guy in the front's going to use a stick or a pike pole or whatever object we have to kind of feel the water and keep his grounding, to keep that tripod effect. And then the guys behind him are to help stabilize him. Plus, it's going to take more than just one person to grab a victim, fight that current, and get them out.
Looking for structures in the river that are breaking up the current that are going to allow you to get out.
The lazy river water feature gives them a feel for a wash rescue. They float feet first so they can see where they're going and protect themselves from debris in the water. This pole across the river roughly simulates large debris such as a tree or vehicle. Something that can be deadly unless they can climb over it. Now keep in mind, the lazy river current is between 3 and 5 miles an hour. Chuck says in a wash they're facing up to a 20-mile-an-hour current or more. The Regional Flood Control District held this press conference kicking off our monsoon season. Here we were reminded that there is 604 miles of flood channel and 91 detention basins. And while the master plan is still only 75% completed, we continue to be safer every year.
And the system works. Where it's built, where it's in place, the flood channels, the detention basins, they work 100% of the time. Mother Nature doesn't always drop the water where our system's built, so we still have some areas that we're getting to over the next decade and beyond.
Meanwhile, our first responders will continue to train because even the safest of roads and washes can't save people's lives if the people don't take the proper steps by staying away from the washes and flooded roads.
Basically, anytime it rains like a good downpour, other than a slow drizzle, we have swift water in this town.
While we are on the topic of public safety, we'd like to take a moment to congratulate the recent graduates and new members of the City of Las Vegas Department of Public Safety. On June 28th at the Orleans Hotel and Casino, graduates of several Southern Nevada law enforcement agencies were honored in the main showroom. From the city's Department of Public Safety, 20 new corrections officers and 5 new marshals celebrated the enormous accomplishment of getting through the rigorous training to protect our citizens and to maintain safety and peace in our detention center. We might add that the city of Las Vegas had both the valedictorians for police officer and deputy city marshal, Donald Mason and Derek Hartford. Congratulations to all of the graduates, and we thank all of our law enforcement for protecting our community every day. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you the story behind these adorable murals at Bracken Elementary School.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to City Beat from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue's Station 1. You know, it's one thing to be able to tell a child the importance of spending their money wisely and making sure they also save, but being able to tell them that and show them that, that's when it really hits home. That's the idea behind a program called Piggy Bank. It teaches financial literacy starting in the 1st grade. It's been around for 7 years, but this year, for the first year, at least at Bracken Elementary School, it wasn't just about the green, it was about yellow, orange, blue, and other colors.
and you're gonna sign or just write your name really big on the wall, okay? There you go.
These young artists are signing the murals they created here on the walls of Walter Bracken Elementary School. These walls surround the school's piggy bank, a real bank where the kids and many others at this school deposit their hard-earned pennies and dollars every week as part of a fun and educational program called Piggy Bank. Anthony McTaggart is with the nonprofit organization Anson. They created this program along with the United Way of Southern Nevada. He says Piggy Bank teaches students the importance of saving money by allowing them to do so right here in their school.
Financial literacy in the classroom is really important, but if we can give students an opportunity to actually learn or practice what they're learning in the classroom, it's even better. So the Piggy Bank program was a group of organizations coming together, United Way of Southern Nevada, their YPS, and Silver State Schools Credit Union with Anson to create an actual banking program for students.
Silver State Schools Credit Union houses the money, and upon graduation from the school, they cut a check for each student for their savings. But this year, Anson thought it would be fun to also let the participants show what Piggy Bank means to them through art.
Initially, we thought about maybe like the team just sketching out, and then eventually we kind of turned it into, you know what, let's actually get the students, our actual savers who are here every week, to really tell us how they feel about the piggy bank. So that's what we did. We worked with the art teachers, and in tandem we got the students to tell us what they think about the piggy bank, what it means to them, and so that's how we came up with these drawings.
The piggy bank team and the community was invited to select the pictures that best depict the program. The winners are what you see here.
So the mural contest is a way that we were able to get students and parents and the community involved, and really kind of leave a commemorative piece as to why we're doing this here at Bracken.
While the artists are proud of their colorful murals, they say they're even more proud of their savings accounts.
And your money grows over time because that's what happens in banks. And like usually once every month, a Capital One worker comes to your class and talks a bit about like banking and how life is when you like how to work with money. To me, it means really having your money in a bank helps you save your money, and it grows over time and overall just stirs you in the correct direction.
It teaches me how to save your money, and it's a safe place to put your money in.
And if you think they plan to use the money for games or new clothing, just take a look at what they chose to paint.
I decided that would be my painting because I wanted to use all my money that I saved and deposited from Piggy Bank to use it for college.
Hearing the students' long-term goals for their savings serves as an inspiration to not only continue the program, but hopefully expand it to middle and high schools.
Teaching a child to save for a goal and teaching them that, goals might take years to achieve is really important, right? I mean, that grasp of short-term versus long-term goals. So yeah, saving for college, saving for a car, saving to help mom and dad buy a home or make a house payment. Those are all it's amazing. It's why we do it every day.
Right now, Piggy Bank is in 3 elementary schools in our community, and here's a milestone for you. As of this year, just 7 years into the program, a total of $234,000 has been saved by these children. Again, this is a partnership between Anson, Silver State Schools Credit Union, and United Way's Young Philanthropist Society. Well, we are very proud here at KCLV to tell you we have won another Emmy. It was for a half-hour special called Ending Homelessness, a light at the end of the tunnel. Just about everybody at the TV station had a hand in producing this program. We want to show you just one of the stories. This one produced by Melissa Duran on homeless youth.
Close your eyes and imagine, if you will, a homeless person. What do you see? You've probably conjured up an image of a person on the side of the road, holding a sign begging for food or money. Well, this image in your head isn't always right. Now spot the homeless person in this crowd. You can't, and that's because the youth in trouble is doing everything they can to blend in. They're called unaccompanied homeless youth, the age group between 12 and 18, sometimes up to the age of 21, that are voiceless. Desiree Larona used to be one of them.
I was born into a hectic family. My mom was a prostitute and my dad was a kingpin. And for the first 10 years of my life, my dad was in and out of jail. and my mom was never around. She was always doing what she did.
Now, the calmness of a quiet home is not taken for granted by this 20-year-old who has endured more than most of us in their lifetime. Desiree and her 13 brothers and sisters lived through years of sexual molestation and foster care until her dad got his life together. He was the one person who never harmed her. It was where she felt safe. But that changed when her father started abusing drugs again. The very man she trusted turned on her.
If my little sister was doing bad in school, I would get hit. If my little brother was getting in trouble in school, I would get hit. And it would happen every couple weeks, and then it turned into a daily thing, and then it turned into multiple times a day. Like, I would get hit before I go to school. I would get hit as soon as I got home. Before I went to sleep, he would wake me up hitting me in the middle of the night just because he was mad and he was on drugs.
School was her only escape, but even there she stayed quiet about the abuse taking place at home. She carried on like this for years until one day her life got flipped upside down even more than it already was.
He hit me so bad that I couldn't walk. And when he was done, he pulled me by my hair outside and he said, "You're on your own now."
In an instant, Desiree found herself with no place to live, sleeping in parks, friends' homes, wherever she could. She even temporarily went back home to look after her brother and sister, to protect them. But her father's patterns continued, and she was once again out on the street. This time, though, she sought help from Safe Place.
They're in survival mode when they come in. They've been traumatized mentally, physically, psychologically. Each case is a little different.
Desiree is one of thousands who have endured or are enduring life as a homeless youth. According to the 2015 Southern Nevada Homeless Census, there are more than 2,000 unaccompanied homeless youth and children living on the streets or in a shelter in Southern Nevada on an average day. There are more than 11,000 homeless youth enrolled in the Clark County School District. The statistics get even more startling. A third of homeless youth engage in survival sex.
It is a very, very serious problem, and unfortunately it's a voiceless population. They really have no one advocating for them. They really have no way of representing themselves. So Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth exists to serve that epidemic in our community, and it's a growing epidemic.
Ghafouri says, unfortunately, our society is reactive rather than proactive, waiting until these youth are arrested or already victimized by sex trafficking to intervene. NPHY tries to intervene before it's too late. They have 6 programs, including family reunification services, transitional housing, immediate intervention, Safe Place, and outreach and advocacy. The goal is to keep these youth out of harm's way and turn them into productive adults. Desiree is currently in their independent living program. Are you happy?
Yeah, I am. I'm happy that I can do what I want and I won't get judged for it.
And now her goal is to make sure other kids can escape from an unsafe situation, and to make sure when you think of the homeless, you remember the teens quietly fighting to survive.
Well, as I said earlier, just about everybody in the station had a hand in producing this half-hour special. This is our second Emmy, but we're also proud to say we've received 7 Emmy nominations over the last 9 years. Well, that does it for another edition of City Beat. But as we go to close, we want to take you to the Red, White, and Blue Family Festival, which was held at Stupak Community Park on July 8th. We'll see you for the next City Beat.